The hunt? Oh, it's on. It's a coach. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see last year's rushing king, Kareem Hunt, fresh off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, we're off to Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be brought out by the number 10 overall pick in the 2017 draft. It's Patrick Mahomes out of Texas Tech.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They run again with Hunt, and they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Caught here by Conley. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Play fake here on first down. Complete to the tight end, Jason Morrow. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now. How we go? And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 20 carries, 106 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll run again with Hunt. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Amaro's got it, left side. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Jace Amaro, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Their 36-year-old quarterback brings him out there. He'll be calling the shots in his 15th season now. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you just sit and look at the raw numbers, you actually kick back and nod in appreciation about the career Ben Roethlisberger has had. Went over 50,000 passing yards last year, 8th all-time. But what he wants more than anything, one more run to the Super Bowl where he's won twice previously.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Focus.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
After all he's been through, I want to talk about Eric Berry, and it was really tough for any NFL fan to see him go down the opener in New England last year. But one thing we know about him, he's resilient. This is a man who's beat cancer to come back and play at an all-pro level. And why? He can cover in the deep zones. He drops down in the box in the run game, and he can blitz the quarterback.
Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Roethlisberger. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Let's go get it now, all right?
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. James has got it. Complete. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Go! 44.
First carry for James Conner, and he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Now good hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This is Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The big man, Tyson Alualu, there to make the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. On the return is Henderson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Steelers set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Show that bench release and go. Let's go.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic. And Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
We got three, fellas. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Allen Bailey in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
Four down.
A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. He's going to get it running right. Stopped short, down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get all the way to the end zone. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now here's Mahomes. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Mahomes now to throw. And he's out of bounds, able to get it up right near the 25 to the 24. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. Now Brown. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point and abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Set! 180! 59, what's up? 59, what's up? Let's go!
They'll pitch it out to Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage. No yardage to be found.
Let's go, let's go.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Hurry up, let's go.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. Now a first down carry by Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he's gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL. Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
66.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
Let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, let's go.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game.
Well, partner, go ahead and strike up the band. Cue up the dance moves. AB is in the end zone yet again, and that's not a surprise at all. His ability to turn something into a bigger play after the catch, that run after catch, one of the things that helps separate him as one of the elite receivers in the NFL.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Right back to him on first down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Now one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved. And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Working from the gun, Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 2 big plays in succession, and Kansas City's on the move. It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Here's Hunt. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail! Here we go now.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Butker able to put this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pick up there, 20 yards. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the two-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. A screen to Bell. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. With that grab, by the way, Antonio Brown now over 10,000 receiving yards in his career.
That is an incredible, significant accomplishment. You're saying 10,000 yards? How many other guys have done that in NFL history?
He's the 46th all-time.
And one of the few that are active.
Yeah,
incredible.
There's only a few that are active. He still, though, is a ways away from Jerry Rice, up over 22,000 for the all-time lead. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2.
All right, let's go get it now, all right?
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. A quick throw, but incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Here we go now.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And able to find Conley. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Chris Conley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
4 down, check, 4 down. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They run with Hunt. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now it's Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Mahomes. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Tyson Alualu whistles now in a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. With a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Let's go.
Throwing now is Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off near his own 48.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now Hunt. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Chiefs, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next.
All right, gentlemen, we've made way too many mistakes this week, okay? Football's a simple game, but you keep making these silly mistakes, we're not gonna win. So
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Set. Green 39. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 30. Here we go now. 319. 319. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Now let's go. Hot. Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Here we go now. Green. Set. Green 39. Hot. Here we go now. Hot. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Hot. Here we go now. Hot. Hurry up, here we go. Hot.
Men, you're gonna like what you see in the film room this afternoon because today was a great practice. The coaching staff, we can't ask for much more. You guys consistently do that, and we are gonna find ourselves in the playoffs. Good stuff.
All right, here we go. 319. 319. Hot. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. All right, here we go. 319. 319. Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Leopard. Leopard. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue. Hot. Now let's go. Green 39. Green. Hot. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. right, here we go.